Well, hello everybody, and welcome to this episode of G Bear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert. It's February something. Well, it's Super Bowl Sunday, so I guess that's the 7th, right? I don't know. I've never had a Super Bowl. I had a Soup Bowl, but never a Super Bowl. Anyway, we're in the garden house here because I did some rearranging in here and I got some more plants planted and transplanted and moved and so forth and so on. So we're going to start. Brought my carrots up over here. So they're a little bit higher and they're going to get a little bit more sun. And these things are really looking good. I mean, I've thinned them and thinned them and thinned them, and the chickens get all the greens and the little tiny carrot roots that are about 4 to 4.5 inches long, but they're only half the thickness of a pencil. I've munched a few myself. They're tasty, but just not enough carrot there. You know, you got to eat a whole bunch of them. So I'm just thinning them out. I'm not actually ready to eat them. But anyway, got everything watered here. I also moved the cantaloupe watermelon over here because those take a long time to sprout up from seed unless I start them indoors. And well, this is indoors, but I meant inside the house like a month ago. I should have started them. I just got these in like a week ago. So it'll be a while before they sprout up. I transplanted my peppers over into here to 3 different peppers. That's jalapeno, poblano, and Anaheims. So they're in this container. And if they get too big, they shouldn't. They should be able to go fine in here. That's a good 11 inches deep on the soil. And I've got them separated far enough so that they can spread their roots out. All right, so over here, I just rotated this because I had to move it to get some other bigger pots into here. And I got everything watered here. That's my spinach coming up there. And I got more spinach planted over there. So about the time I'm done eating this spinach, the others should be sprouting and I'll get those into the garden. Got my dill coming up over here. You dill weed. And look at my peas. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, these are sweet peas, so they're going to be delicious. I got the flowers on there. That means I'll be setting pods pretty soon. And I love munching those as I'm walking through the garden. Yeah, my cukes, my green beans, and some other starter seeds there. Cat grass. We'll go up to Tomcat's cage in a little while. I put the bigger pot of the cat grass in there yesterday with a couple of leaves from the catnip. So I want to see what happened with that in there. I got loads of catnip coming up here, but my neighbors that do animal rescue have extra cats, so I'll dig a couple of the plants out, transplant them into smaller pots, and give them to her, and she can have those for her cats, because I got way more than I'll ever use here. And I know you can cut it and dry it and that stuff, but why? If I can grow it, I grow it, right? All right, so I moved some plants around on that shelf over there. You notice that the dill, not the dill, but the asparagus, the asparagus is not here anymore. This is the bucket that they were growing in. And I moved those outside. I'll show you that in a minute. So over here, the potatoes. These are just those eyes of the potatoes that I planted. I told you you can plant just the eyes. Just pop them off the side of the potato with your fingers. You can still eat the potato as long as it hasn't gone green. And then plant the eyes. And these eyes will grow into another potato plant. And you'll get not just one, but a bunch of potatoes off that potato plant. So that's the way to go. This is the other potato plant that I planted earlier than those. And it's doing really well. But these are different potatoes than those. So those were the Idahos. So I forget what these were, if these were the Goldens. But that's why I got to mark this stuff. I have to mark everything. Otherwise, 3 weeks, 4 weeks go by. Don't know what the heck is in there. Okay, over here, tomato plants doing fabulous. I mean, just really, really going great. My parsley doing great here. Just transplanted this guy, came out of one of the smaller pots like this. I got another one coming up there and one coming up here. So I'll have to get those transplanted. And then I've got these in these pots, and these are going to be root bound here in a little while. So I'm going to have to transplant those into pots this size if I'm going to keep them in pots. I'm not sure that the cold weather is gone yet, but look at this. 3:30 in the afternoon, and it's still 95 degrees in here. And it was 112 in here earlier. I had to open up the vents on the roof here and cool this thing down a little bit. It was really hot in here. All right. That one over there, that's got all the little leaves and sprouts on it. That is a clone off of the Anjou pear tree. And it took like right away. So that's a good one. That one's going to come up just great. And that gives me an extra one. So over here, this one also came off the Anjou pear tree. I just stuck it in the ground and it took. And this one came off my Bosque pear and it took. And this one is, I'm pretty sure this is one of the peach branches, and it took. So I got those three coming up in there. Not a bad deal. All right, so let's come on over here. You can see all my little sprouts coming up here. This is beets that are popping up. And this I think is lettuce that I had seeds packs that got wet. And I just tore them open right up, standing right here, and they were just falling in the dirt. I figured I was going to raise the dirt level up to that level anyway, so what the heck? Well, before I did, they all started sprouting. Cabbage is doing well. Broccoli's doing really well. I got a couple of nice broccoli flowers in the middle there. And here's my asparagus. So, since asparagus will actually keep coming back every spring, I put 3 on this side and 3 on that side. And that's where they'll stay. So this is their permanent home. This is what where they're going to be living for the rest of my life. And they'll just keep on feeding me once a year. Cool. Here's one of the tomato plants I took out of the pots that I had inside the greenhouse. I transplanted it out here today. And I did another one, the one that had the 1 tomato on it. I did that one over here. So this one didn't look that healthy, but it was really root bound in the little pot it was in, so I had to fix that. All right, so over here, this is the peach tree graft that I did, and you can see my wax is still on there and my tape is still on there, but this one has taken, and this one came off of that peach tree down there. So I crossed it onto here. So I'm going to give it another couple of weeks, or maybe 1.5 to 2 weeks, and I'll take the tape off, and we should have a good established branch there, because this whole thing is starting to bud, as you can see. Lots of buds coming out. That's another thing that I'll show you down the line, is a thing called bud grafting, where you don't graft a whole branch onto it. You just take a bud off of the stump, like this bud right here, and you transplant that onto the host tree, and that's actually you got more chance of success doing a bud graft than you do doing a branch graft, and I'll be showing you that down the line. But yeah, these are all popping buds all over the place. So as this thing starts setting fruit, I'm going to have to remove half the fruit from this tree because it's not big enough to handle as many buds as I've got coming out. If I leave all the fruit on here, I'll get inferior fruit, and all of it will be a waste. Where if I take half or even more than half of the fruit off the tree while it's growing, the others, all the energy will be sent to the others, and they'll get some nice big juicy peaches out of there. I'd rather have a dozen super nice, big, sweet, juicy peaches than having 4 dozen little walnuts. That's the bottom line. All right. This graft looks like it took 2. I took the foil off. You can see a bud popping out on the top right there. So that one looks like that might be a successful graft. This is the pear tree. This one is by Kiefer pear. Kiefer. And that's a Bosque pear graft that I put on here. So this tree is very young yet, but I've had success with grafting young trees. As a matter of fact, I've got some apple trees that are 2 years old, and I did one in 2019 and one in 2020, and they're all multi-apple trees. So I'll show you those down the line as they start getting a little stronger. I'm going to be bringing them up here and transplanting them into my greenhouse and let them get strong in there before I transplant them out into my garden extension, which is going to be coming real soon because it's springtime out here. It had to be upper 70s, close to 80 out today. It was definitely sun tanning weather, just a beautiful, beautiful day. Okay, this is the Anjou pear, and it is really coming to life. It's got sprouts all over the place. So this is a very strong tree. And my air layer here is, well, let's see, I did that on 121. So somewhere around February 20th or so, I'll open that up and see what we're doing in there, see how our rootstock is going. I just watered it a little while ago, but it looks like that's a healthy branch because that one is full of leaves. That's this branch right here. You can see the sprouts coming off the ends of the branch on this, just doing really, really well. So that'll make a healthy tree. Whew, sorry, I caught a glimpse of the sun. It's a sunny area over here, as you can see. Anyway, my strawberries, all flowering, well, not all flowering, but some flowering. This is doing good. The grapevines, if this warm weather sticks here, probably within the next week or so, we'll start seeing buds popping on all the grapevine. And the weather report says that it is supposed to stick with us. So it looks like we're going to have an early spring. I don't mind if some rain comes, but no more snow, please. All right, here's my my herb garden. I beg your pardon. I never promised you an herb garden. Okay, so everything's coming up really nice in here. I've got to thin my oregano out, so I'll see if my neighbor wants some of that. They're coming down tomorrow for some cilantro. I've got loads of cilantro. Okay, so that's a walkthrough. This is supposed to be cannabis sativa, which is not the stuff that everybody smokes. This is hemp. I don't know, it's a volunteer that came in one of the pots that I got from Chris and Aurora, and I don't want it really, but I hate to kill a plant, so I'll see if my neighbor wants it and she can grow it up there. All right. Yeah, I'm not going to be making any rope, so I don't need any hemp plants. All right, to fulfill a promise that I made to one of my dear friends and subscribers, this is the little tool that I was telling you that you want to buy for checking your electrical out. And these are two that are almost the same. This one has a little button right in the center there. And that one there is for checking GFCI outlets. So this will save you from taking the whole outlet out of the wall to see if the wires are on the right side. All you do is take this thing, plug it into your outlet, and what you want to see is on this side, you want to see 2 yellow lights. There's right on these things, it tells you there's a chart there, and the bottom one right now says correct, 2 yellow lights. So if you have 1 yellow light in the center, then that's an open ground. All right. So these are handy to have. Now, if you have a GFI and you want to make sure it's working, you plug this in, press the little button, and it should pop the GFI. Okay, that's it. Now, this one is an older one, and this one doesn't have the GFI button on it, but it's the same thing. 2 yellow lights means good, and it'll tell you if the units are reversed, hot ground reverse, the red will be on. Open hot will be 1 yellow on the right. Open neutral, 1 yellow on the right. Open hot will be 1 yellow in the center. A hot neutral reverse is the one that shows 1 light in the center. Anyway, this will tell you very quickly what's going on, so you don't have to pull the outlet out of the wall to check it. I have some other tools that I could show you, but I'd have to dig them out right now, and I'm not prepared for that. I have one that's a circuit breaker locator, and it's got a little unit kind of like that, those units I just showed you, but it's black, and it only has 1 red light on it. So you plug that into the outlet, the red light shows that says this is power in the outlet. Then you take the other half of it, which is a little handheld sensor unit, and you go to your breaker panel and you start scanning down the breakers. When it finds the breaker that outlet is on, it'll beep. It'll go beep, 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 beep. And if you pass it, it'll stop. If you go back, it'll start beeping again. So it'll tell you exactly which breaker it is. If you're using one of those, always scan the whole panel, even if you find a beep on the first shot. Because sometimes people cross circuits. Homeowners will do that. They'll add a circuit in their garage and they'll cross it with another circuit. Not good. All right, let's see what Tom's doing. Well, it looks like Tomcat is out roaming and around. He ate his, well, maybe nope, he's out roaming around. But he ate his catnip, but it looks like he hasn't really done much on the cat grass yet. But his food looks good, his water looks good. So I'll close him up and he'll be back when he feels like coming back. Like I said, it's a beautiful day, so he's probably out having a good time. And one thing I did notice, he's been spending a lot more time outside. And I did notice that the ground squirrel population around here is a lot less. I mean, I think I've seen 1 ground squirrel all week. Normally I'll see 6 or 7 a day. And Tomcat's been at it. Of course, one of the bad things that I don't know if it was Tomcat or not, but the other day I went up by the water tank and 2 wings from a hawk was there, but the body was gone. Now, I don't know if it was Tomcat or the druggies dogs who run around wild here. I don't know if Tomcat would be fast enough to catch a hawk, but then again, I don't know if dogs would be either, unless they snuck up on it, caught it by surprise. Anyway, sad to see the hawk go. They are protected, and I love them because they keep the rodent population down. All right, everybody, that's all I have for today. I'm going to thank you for joining me. Don't forget, questions and comments at the bottom, and give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to like my videos. Those really count to us. We have these statistics that we have to keep up. So liking a video, watching a video, sharing a video, all of those things show up in the statistics. And YouTube looks at that and they say, whoa, that's a good thing. And then the advertisers look at that and they say, oh, this guy's got a good following. He's got a lot of views. That's a good thing. So keep the views up, keep the thumbs up, keep your subscriptions up. Thank you all. This is G Bear signing off.